right, so we've got a wintertime drone video of this big tract, 408 acres. Um, we love doing the wintertime videos when we can. Uh, the the property doesn't look as good in the winter with no leaves on the trees, with everything brown and gray, but it's an awesome time of year to do a drone video because you can really get a good, honest look at the property. You can tell if there's been recent logging. I mean, you can basically see everything in the wintertime that you can't in the summer because once those leaves come out, everything is just green. So, wintertime drone video. We are parked um, roughly in the middle of the property. We're in an open area toward the northeast side of the Douglas County section of the property. There's a little hunting stand. We found several of those on the property. Um, we're going to do a flyover here. I believe in this video we fly northerly and check out some of the northern part. We're looking south right now. You can see another hunting blind off in the distance. You can see some different trails, miles and miles of trails on this property. It's awesome. Yep, there's a nice little uh, hunting stand right there that's set up to kind of hunt that valley and across the valley. There's a trail there. I mean, we mapped out some of the trails, but there are a ton. I mean, this was set up for hunting and recreation, and it's awesome. Open meadow area right there. So this actually is in two counties. This monster piece. There's about 240 acres in Webster County. As we look north, we're looking at the Webster County section. But where we launched the drone, where the truck is parked, is on the northern part of the Douglas County section. So there's about 240 acres in Webster County, 168 acres in Douglas County. That's according to the county. But it's all contiguous. It's all one big piece, 408 acres. So flying northerly. And again, with the wintertime, with the leaves off, I mean, you can see nice tall timber. Basically, any property's been logged, but this appears to have not been logged for quite a few years, or you would see limbs and brush, and everything looks pretty good here. In fact, this property looks a lot better than most that we've seen, because the former owner every few years would do kind of a controlled burn to get rid of some of the underbrush, and that's why this property looks so good compared to maybe some others that you've seen that are brushy. Actually, it was through the county or the state. There's a program where if you'll do a controlled burn, they actually give you a pretty substantial amount of money. So that was something that he did. He did it every few years because you could only do it every so often, but he indicated to us that potentially it could be done again coming up here. Okay, so anyway, we're on the Webster County side. That little meadow that you see is going to be toward the southwest part of the Webster County portion. So pretty little open meadow. It's got a creek bed running on the northern side of the meadow, which would be the left side as we look at it. You can see another trail going up the hill past the meadow there. There's also a trail that goes kind of along the right side or the east side of the meadow and then off into the woods and back up the hill. Again, miles and miles of trails out here. So look at the map, the meadow itself is right at the west side of that part of the property. So I believe part of the meadow is not on the property, but the part we're looking at now is. So there you can see that creek bed just to the left of the meadow. So we walked a small portion of that creek bed, I believe, and it had, for a while it had a gravel bottom, then it changed to like a flat rock bottom, then it changed to a really interesting, different type of large rock base, and I think that might be the creek bed where we got the video of kind of the little waterfall and the pool of water right in the creek. It's hard to say because there are different areas out here with creek beds. There's so many trails, and if you look right in the middle, there is actually some flowing water. Look like we could see it. So we don't know if any of these creeks or whatnot are year-round creeks. It's best to assume they're not. But this one does appear to have water flowing to some extent, or it did when this video was taken. You'll have a lot of different species of trees out here, but more than likely, predominantly, you'll have red oak, white oak, hickory. We saw quite a few walnut trees, but I mean, you'll have dozens of different species. Down by the meadows, you're likely to have some sycamore near the creek. They like to grow near creeks because the roots of the sycamore need a pretty good water source. Amazing property for hunting. Just wow. Anything in this area is well known for hunting. This Douglas County, Webster County area, but to have 400 plus acres all contiguous with a trail system, with creeks, with meadows, it's awesome. This is about 30 miles southeast of Springfield, Missouri, so great location. That's as the crow flies, as they say, by road. Probably an hour to Springfield. I'm not sure. Depends on which way you go. Seymour, Missouri, excuse me, about 5 or 10 miles to the north. Ava, Missouri, about 10 miles to the southeast. Not sure what we're zooming in on there. Maybe we're looking at the creek bed. Maybe we see some deer. I'm really not sure. A lot of possibilities on this one. If you're a hunter, obviously it's awesome. Whitetail deer hunting, wild turkey hunting. If you're into off-roading or four-wheeling or whatnot, having that trail system with miles of trails is unbelievable. This particular tract, the northern part, the Webster County part, is actually adjacent to the Southern Missouri Off-Road Ranch, which is a fairly well-known off-road ranch in the Ozarks. You can Google that, or their website. I'm not sure what their website is, but it's Southern Missouri Off-Road Ranch, and it borders the east side of the Webster County portion of this property. And I didn't even realize how long this video was, so I guess we have a lot more to see in this video. You could spend days out here and really, not fully explore this property. So still headed northerly. We're still on the Webster County side of the 408 acres. I think I mentioned earlier, we mapped out some of the trails, but there are more. And we found, I'm not sure how many little hunting blinds or elevated deer blinds we found, but we found several. We're also actually not that far from the Mark Twain National Forest, from several different large rivers and creeks. But as far as hunting, having the National Forest is great, but if you've got 400 acres of private land, it's not likely you're going to ever need to venture into the National Forest to hunt. So we're more toward the northern section now. We're just looking at some of the trails, some of the timber. Oh, to the left, on the upper left, there's another little hunting cabin. I don't think whoever was flying the drone saw it, but it was there. Looking northerly. Those distant meadows are not on the property. Those are off in the distance. I believe we're toward the end of the property now, toward the north side, I should say. And there's that little hunting cabin there. Or I shouldn't say hunting cabin. It's basically a deer stand, a covered deer stand. And I don't know if we've seen that one from ground level or not, but we found several of them. A couple were fully enclosed. Some were not. They just had a roof with kind of half walls. And all the ones that we've discovered were set up in an area with some type of meadow or opening or shooting lane. So potentially fantastic spots to hunt for deer. Obviously, since the stands have been there years and years and years, the deer are not spooked by them. So even without any, even without any wildlife management, without any, food plots or setting out corn or even salt licks, without that, you're gonna have a ton of deer and turkey on here. So any kind of wildlife management you do in addition to that is going to be awesome. So now we're looking northerly, but we're actually kind of drifting southerly. And I'm not sure where we'll end up because we have about 5.5 minutes left. So pretty easy to tell that there has not been any recent logging on this property. I mean, maybe some firewood or some trees removed for the meadows or whatnot. But if there had been any real logging on here within the last 5, 10, 15 years, we would have seen tons of tops and limbs and other stuff like that, and we're just not seeing that. So pretty much every property has been logged, but the fact that we're not seeing a bunch of debris means it's been years since this property was logged. Once it's been paid for in full, you could absolutely log it. You could sell the timber. You could use the timber to build, log cabins or homes, which would be really, really cool. That's obviously once the property's been paid for in full to us. Or if you finance through a different source and pay off the loan to us, then all that would be between you and whoever you were making the payments to. We do work with people as far as if they need to remove some trees for maybe widening a road or creating a building site, for an improvement. So you can get with us for details on that, but we have a pretty easy process in place where we can get you written permission to remove timber if you're doing some kind of improvement. Okay, so that's back where kind of where we started, and that's in a clearing on the northern part of the Douglas County portion of the property. So we're still looking north. So the property goes straight north up there, essentially for a mile at the longest point. But now we're drifting southerly, but we're still looking north at the property, except now we're seeing more of the Douglas County portion. And I don't know why the drone was kind of cattywampus there, but it looks like it righted itself. We've got a few different videos. If you're already on the listing page, you'll see those. If not, we'll have the link in the video description. If you're on YouTube, we'll have a link in the video description so you can check out the full listing page. We may have some summertime videos as well, I'm not sure, but we really do love to be able to provide these wintertime drone videos. They don't look nearly as nice as spring, summer, and fall, but man, do they do a good job showing the property. Now that might be the pond. The pond toward the southwest side of the property. There are a couple different ponds on this monster tract, but no, that's not the pond. That's just another clearing. We're getting down more toward the southern part of the Douglas County section of the property. And there's the pond I was thinking of. So when you come into the property, if you're coming into that southwest portion, pretty soon you'll see the pond on the left side of the road or the trail. You can actually see the road on the right, and then there's the pond. Really nice pond, well constructed. Doesn't look like it's been maintained. Not that ponds need that much maintenance, but every 10 years or so, it doesn't hurt to clean out the reeds, and some of the leaves get in there and they decay and build up. But obviously a well-made pond because it was still looking good despite the fact that it should be cleaned out at some point. There's another cabin I keep saying cabin. They're not cabins. There was another hunting blind off to the left back there. Now we're headed back to the north, I'm sure, back to where we started in that meadow toward the northern part of the Douglas County section. Awesome property. We're so excited about this one. We've never been able to offer anything like this, so we are pretty pumped about it. 408 acres in southern Missouri, in Webster County and Douglas County, all contiguous. Just once in a lifetime chance for someone or a group of people who want a very private place to hunt, to camp. You could certainly build a home or a cabin. It would be off grid. Power's in the area, but the power's not directly on the property that we know of, that we've seen. Gorgeous. Check out the website. Complete owner financing on this awesome tract. If you have any questions, just let us know.